sometimes I also, oh, sorry, so for the purpose of the minutes, our meeting did start at 6:03, just as a note. And we've also gone through the welcome statement and the sunshine law. So back to the teleconferencing etiquette. And so if you just raise your hand or put a question in your chat, we will monitor that and make sure that you are addressed. I also apologize in advance for any dog noises or screaming child you may hear as I talk, because sometimes I can't control those. So with that, I want to do some introductions and an icebreaker. So we'll go around in a circle, or not circle, sorry. It's going to be based off of who's on my little screen here. And I'll go last this time. So I'm going to just go ahead and pick somebody. So what we want to know is who you are and what your plans are for the 4th. So the first person on my screen is B.
Steve. Hi, I'm Steve Pitts. I'm a medical case manager with the VNA. And on the 4th of July, I am playing golf in the Poconos.
Yay. Thank you, Steve. I said B, but that's okay. It's okay, Steve. It's okay. We'll be good. We'll be good. Okay, B, go ahead.
Hi, I'm B. Franklin. I'm a substance abuse counselor at New Brunswick Counseling Center and a member of the Planning Council. And this 4th of July, like every 4th of July, I am going to be working very hard at calming my dogs down from all of the fireworks.
I'm with you, B. Same here. Mariana?
Hi, I'm Mariana Casiano. I'm from Robert Wood, patient at Robert Wood Johnson, and I'm resting because I have to go work next day.
Thank you, Mariana. How about you, Jen?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Pipiak. I'm Planning Council support staff, and I am attending a family party that we do every year, and also calming the dogs like we do every year.
Kathleen.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. On the Planning Council. I'm a consumer with HIV, and right now I don't have any plans. I'm waiting to see if I get invited to any picnics.
Sounds great.
That's it.
Pedro?
Hi, everyone. My name is Pedro. They call me Pete. I work at Hyacinth Plainfield office as a harm reduction specialist. I used to be a member of the Planning Council, but because of medical reasons and other issues, I left. So now I'm trying to get back in because I'm a patient at Eric B. Chandler for a very, very, very long time. But I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Did we hear what your 4th of July plans are? Or did I miss it?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, to be honest, tomorrow's my 21st birthday. No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow's my birthday. So tomorrow I'm working because we had a short week at Hyacinth. So I did, because I do harm reduction, I want to make sure the clients got what they need for the long weekend. So on the 4th of July, I'm going to my son who lives in Hoboken because he got a pool on the top of his roof where he lives at, and we're going to see the fireworks from there.
Nice. That sounds great. Thank you. John?
Happy birthday, Pete, and welcome back. My name is John Marcinkiewicz, and I am the vice chair of the membership and mentorship and outreach committee, and a consumer person living with HIV and advocate. And for 4th of July, I am not sure yet, but I'll tell you what I'm not doing is I'm not sitting in my apartment.
Sounds great. Karen?
Hi, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Hi, Karen, earlier intervention program in Perth Amboy. I don't know. I hope I get some sleep. That would be nice. That, or if Mother Nature gives us sun, since she didn't give us any over the weekend, sit outside in the sun would be nice. I don't know how anybody does the traffic and the shore and all those things. I give them credit.
Thank you, Karen. Mary? You might be on mute, Mary. We see your mouth moving, but nothing. We can't hear.
She's
There you
not
go.
muted. There you are.
Hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. My name is Mary Nolan. I'm a project management officer at New Jersey Department of Health. And I hope to be lounging in my pool for the day and not hosting anybody and worrying about anybody else.
Can we all get invites to these pools, please?
Terry?
Hi, everyone. My name is Terry. I am responsible for Ryan quality management and program support. My kid is home from college for the next 2 weeks, so we don't really have plans. We're just gonna hang out, sleep in, maybe show up at Mary's. Just kidding, Mary.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Terry. Vanessa?
Hi, Vanessa, medical case manager for the VNA, and for July 4th, I'm gonna go see the fireworks at Thompson Park.
Kelly?
Hello, how you guys doing? My name is Kelly Fowler. I'm the regional service manager at Hyacinth and also a planning council member. For the 4th of July, I'm just gonna rest well and wait for the weekend because that's when my party starts. Saturday.
Okay. Lara?
I don't know why, like I act, it's like going to McDonald's. You know what the menu is, but you still stand there and stare at it. If you go inside or you're sitting at the drive-thru, it's like, I expect the mute button to be someplace else than it actually is. Forgive me. I'm Lara Dykstra. I'm with the New Jersey Department of Health, the DHSTS, Division of HIV, STD, and TB Services. I am a program management officer. I work alongside Mary. I am also the biomedical intervention. Like, let me get this out. It's been a long day. My mom had surgery this morning, so forgive me. I'm the biomedical intervention coordinator for the state of New Jersey, which means all things prep. And the 4th of July, I'm going to say my 4th is going to be boring because I have to pack because I leave but this is where it gets exciting because then I get to leave for the Outer Banks the next day. So a funny little joke when I said to my husband with all hope and glimmer in my eye, because the 4th of July is my second favorite holiday after Christmas. I was like, what are we doing for the 4th this year? He looked at me stone faced and said, nothing, you're packing because I don't want you panic packing on Friday morning. So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you. Roseanne?
Hi, everybody. I'm Roseanne Marone from the Robert Wood Johnson AIDS program, New Brunswick. And I will probably go to the beach if the weather permitting. Only during low tide is my preference. So I have to get the tide chart. So hopefully I'll do that and maybe visit some friends locally. So not going too far. Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Kathy?
Hi, sorry. Yes, I'm cooking. I apologize.
It's okay.
But I am just going to be enjoying it with my family, and then going to the fireworks.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. And
You're welcome.
Siobhan?
Hi, Siobhan Cato, program director of Zuko Health and council member. For the 4th, I don't have any direct plans on that day, but the weekend is my niece's birthday, so I'll be with family in New York.
Thank you, Siobhan. I think I got everybody. I don't think I missed anyone. All right, thank you. So my name is Minu. Like I said before, I work at Eric B. Chandler Health Center, and I am chair of the council as well as chair of the QUISP committee, which we'll hear updates from later. I'd like to take this moment to read our mission statement and have a moment of silence following that. The mission of the Planning Council is to establish and implement a comprehensive plan for the organization and delivery of HIV-related services as described in the Ryan White HIV/AIDS Treatment Extension Act of 2009. Now, if we could have a quick moment of silence to remember those living with HIV, those we've lost. Thank you. Thank you all. At this time, I'm going to pass this off to Jen to do a roll call of voting members. I do believe we have quorum, so we want to go ahead and put that on record.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. All right. So for a roll call, we are going to start at the top. Please come off mute and just say that you're here. We're going to start with B.
Here.
Thank you. Carlton has not logged on. Siobhan?
Here.
Thank you. Jay has not logged on. John?
Here.
Thank you. Jose will not be present today. Kareem has not logged on. Kathleen?
Here.
Thank you. Kelly?
Here.
Thank you. Lara? I see you here. Thank you. Manu?
Here.
Thank you. Roseanne?
Present.
Thank you. Cheryl will be absent tonight. I am so sorry. That's my dogs. They're barking at a squirrel on the deck. Tanya has not logged on. And Vanessa?
Here.
Thank you. And we do have quorum. We are good to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen. So we're gonna go ahead. We have a number of items to vote on. So let's just go right into it. The first is the approval of the minutes from June. So Jen is gonna be posting that. If I could have a motion when you guys are ready.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thank
I'll
you, Roseanne.
second.
Can I get a second? Oh, thank you, John.
I'll
All
second.
right, all in favor? If you could raise your hand, please.
Aye.
Any folks not on camera might need to speak up. Okay, thank you. Any nays? Any abstention? All right, motion carries. Next item is the approval of the agenda for today. If I could have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda for today.
Thank you, John. Can I have a second,
I'll
please?
second. I'll second.
That was B? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, B. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Lara, you opposed? No. Okay, sorry. No opposing. Okay, any abstention? All right, motion carries. Thank you all for that. At this time, I do not see Lucy logged on. Does she have an administrative report, Terry or Jen? No.
She's on
Okay.
vacation, so she's
All
not
right,
joining.
thank you. Her administrative report is that she's on vacation. Great for her. All right, next, we don't have any old business to discuss today, so we're going to go right into more voting. So we're going to start with the new business of the service standards. We have made some changes to the universal standards, so we're going to present them there. This is part of the committee that I was chairing, so I want to go ahead and review this with everyone. So universal standards, for those of you who don't know, apply to all standards So these are minimum requirements that you can just kind of add on to every single standard that we talk about, okay? So the change that has been made here, and you can kind of see it highlighted, is that the eligibility reassessment, which used to be 6 months, is now every 12 months. And the reason this change has been made is because our federal funders have actually made that change. So we want to make sure we're aligned with what our federal funders are doing. And so we are requiring the agencies to do their eligibility assessment with their clients every 12 months. That's all the changes that we made. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I think this is actually, this is also related to the eligibility. Again, the language changes that you don't need to do this documentation twice a year, you do it annually. So it's basically the same thing. Nobody has any questions or anything related to this? That's essentially all the change that was made, but it's a kind of a big deal because it kind of cuts the work in half in a sense, right? And clients are not required as often to provide documentation of their income and things like that. Okay, and is everybody clear on what eligibility, when we say eligibility, what those requirements are, or does anybody have any question on that?
I have a question. We're talking 12 months. We're not talking once in a calendar year. We're talking within 12 months, right?
Right, every 12 months.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
All right, I don't see any questions. So at this point, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thank you, Roseanne.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Vanessa. Oh, this is a roll call. How does conflict of interest apply here? Let me, yeah, because then no funded provider can vote on this. Is that how it works?
I don't know. Hold on a sec.
We're going to review something real quick. So let me just review what conflict of interest is. There's a little statement that is listed on your agenda. So I'll just quickly read it. So as a voting member of the council, you need to keep this in mind as you vote. Conflict of interest is defined as an actual or perceived interest, financial or otherwise, by a planning council member in an action which results or has the appearance of resulting in personal, organizational, or professional gain. So our question is, should providers not vote on this? Because this applies to all standards. Okay, so anybody who works at a funded provider or funded organization has a conflict of interest in this particular standard, so should not be voting. Clear on that? So we're going to be doing a roll call. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna, if you are paying attention to the chat, Terry has kind of addressed this. If you are receiving services at a Ryan White funded provider, you do not have a conflict of interest. It's if you are getting paid as an employee of a funded organization. Okay, that distinction is clear to all, I hope. Okay, with that, oh yes, go ahead.
Yes, I work up the Plainfield office which is highest city, which is Union County, but I get all my services through Eric B. Chandler. So that can I vote on it or no? Because I get my
Mr. Pedro, you have to submit an application and become a member. Okay. You're not a voting member quite yet, so we won't be asking you quite yet, but we'd love for you to submit an application. And once you are approved and you're a member,
I don't think you would be able to vote anyway for that because it works at an agency.
So it wouldn't be for all things that we vote on, Pedro. It's just this one particular thing. Okay.
Okay. And I also did submit an application. I sent it to Jen.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So we have a number of standards that we vote on. When we review specific standards, only those those planning council members who work for organizations that are funded for those service categories, they don't vote on it. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Pedro? Since this applies to all service categories, that's where it becomes a conflict for all employees of funded organizations. Okay?
Yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yes, we want your application. We want you to become a member. Okay, so with that, Jen, can we do a roll call vote?
Yep.
And if you are not, if you're not able to vote, please just say abstain.
Yep. Okay, awesome. So we're still gonna read out everybody's names, and again, just abstain if you cannot vote. So B.
Abstain.
Thank you. Siobhan,
Abstain.
John,
Yes.
thank you. Kathleen. I think you're muted. There you go.
Yes.
Thank you. Kelly.
Abstain.
Thank you. Lara.
Yes.
Thank you. Manu.
Abstain.
Yep. Roseanne
Abstain?
and Vanessa.
Abstain.
Okay, we still have 3 votes for yes, so your universal provider has passed. Thank you.
Thank you all. That brings us to the next item, which is a vote on the bylaws. Jen, can I just read? Would that be easiest? So this is in addition to what we have for attendance, right? Okay, so that may be easier if I just read what's on here. So what we're voting on is a change to the attendance section. So let me just read it. An absence can be considered excused if notification ahead of time occurs. Notification needs to be given to Planning Council staff within 2 hours of the meeting start time. Each member can have up to 2 excused absences in any grant year, which is defined as March 1st through February 28th of every year. The excused absence will not be counted in the total number of members when determining quorum. All right. Is that clear to everyone? Any questions, any discussion? And that's it, right, Jen? I'm not reading
that's
anything.
it.
Okay, that's just making sure we're not missing something.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, I apologize. It's the same thing, but it is addressed twice. Let me see it again here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's just it's written again somewhere else.
Yes. Yep. So it's in
So
2 places on the there because this is under, we're going to add this under 6.6.2. So yeah, it's in the 2 different places. So we need to talk about both of them to send it to vote on.
Okay. Does anybody need me to read it again? It's word for word the same thing, right?
I don't think so. I think
okay, let me read it just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. Wait, let me just take a look. What is the difference? I don't consider excuse. I'm going to read them. Sorry. Let me take a look at this one. This one has an additional part.
Oh, it's about committees.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and read it just so that everybody hears it. So this is specific to committee absences. So an absence can be considered excused if notification ahead of time occurs. Notification needs to be given to Planning Council staff within 2 hours of the meeting start time. Each member can have up to 2 excused absences any grant year. Where committees are scheduled to meet 6 times or less in any grant year, only 1 excused absence is allowed. The excused absence will not be counted in the total number of members when determining quorum. So same concept. One was meant for planning the full council meeting, like which we're having right now, and the other one is related to committee meetings. Okay, but we're voting on both. Well, it depends on the motion, but you could lump both items in one motion. There's no question, conversation. We can have a motion of some sort.
John has his hand raised.
Yes, John.
Yeah, I don't know if we should vote on it first or whatever, but I just wanted to continue the conversation about this just to explain to the new people as well the difference. Isn't there like a difference with non-affiliated consumers with the attendance and stuff like that, and just to explain like why it's important, like that you know, this rule is in place, as far as, our meetings go, like, so that people don't get scared away or or whatever.
Do you want me to
'Cause
touch that one, Manu?
Or
Yes,
am I saying crazy?
Yeah, so kind of. So so what John is talking about is our regular attendance policy. So this policy that we're going to vote on is an addition to what's already in place. So nothing will change. So we're not asking to change the bylaws. The committee is not asking to change the bylaws that are already written according to attendance. And what he's talking about is that attendance for non-affiliated consumers is you have an additional absence from both the planning council and the standing committees. So there's a little bit more budge room on how many committee meetings you can miss in both the planning council and the standing committee. This is actually to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say lenient because that's not the correct word, but a little bit more understanding for like when something comes up last minute or an emergency comes up, so that we're actually trying to open the doors to give a little bit more leeway with an absence, so that if something came up and you've burned through all our typical bylaw absences, but then you have your car breaks down on the side of the road or something else happens, that's when like these kinds of things could come into play. So we're actually adding on more options. I don't want to say leeway. I'm trying to think of a better word here and I can't think of it. We're trying to make it a little bit more.
Terry put in flexible.
Flexible. There you go. I'm having a moment. A little bit more flexible with our attendance policy so that it is a little bit more welcoming. So that's it. I don't know if did I explain that correctly? Do you have any questions? Yeah.
That was
Okay.
perfect to me.
Awesome. Except for I couldn't find the word, but you know what I meant. Yeah. So this is an addition.
Question. Sorry, it's Kathy. I have a quick question. So, it's 2 meetings in total for the fiscal year we're allowed to miss?
No, so what you're looking at here is in addition to like our typical attendance policy. So if you want, we can go through our attendance policy really quick. So we have let me just get back. Okay, so right here you'll see, I'm going to highlight this part. I see it in blue. So any planning council member who incurs 3 consecutive absences or 4 total in a grant year will be considered to have resigned. So that's 3 consecutive or 4 total. Yeah, and then members who are unaffiliated consumers can have 3 consecutive absences or 5 total absences. So that's just our standard, like our standard attendance policy. And then these 2 excused absences are in addition to that. So they're
consecutive is the main thing. So like if I attended the last meeting but I missed one, but it's not consecutive, it's okay.
Yeah, it would still count as an absence. But what this yeah, it would still count as an absence. Unless you were to use it as you are able to call in and say, or email in and say within 2 hours of the meeting and ask it to be an excused absence. And what that does is that really helps us with quorum. So like tonight when we all jumped on and we didn't have quorum yet, say we never established it. What that would do is if say a couple people emailed beforehand and said, hey, I can't make it tonight, something came up, but I would like to use it as an excused absence, we would actually factor the quorum in differently. So if 5 people emailed, say, and said, hey, 5 out of the 15 are using an excused absence, our quorum total, our total number of members that we would be counting that day would be 10. And then so for our quorum, we would only need 6 individuals instead of 8. So it helps in that sense, but it also gives a little bit more leeway or flexibility so that you still have you still have what's in blue here. So you still have 3 consecutive or 4 in total, or as an unaffiliated consumer, whoever that may be, would have 3 consecutive or 5 total. But then you also have the 2 excused on top of that. And it just kind of lines out here what excused means. So you still have to give notification. Unlike like any typical absence, I asked for notification because it helps us get an idea of what our meeting is going to look like, especially for quorum. So anytime anybody can let us know ahead of time, it's always really appreciated. But for these excused ones that wouldn't count towards quorum and would adjust our quorum numbers, those would have to be notified at least 2 hours beforehand. So these are just in addition. And then the consecutive part is just say, I'm gonna throw, if I was a member and I broke my foot and I'm having a really tough time and I'm doing therapy and I'm having a bunch of stuff going on, and I'm just not able or in the right mental place to make it to meetings. And I miss one meeting and then I miss the next meeting and then I miss the third consecutive meeting. And say I'm an affiliated consumer. What that would mean is I hit that threshold. Unless I've requested a leave of absence or something like that, I've hit my 3 consecutive absences. And without discussing it with the planning council or the planning council support staff or the chairs, that would be me not saying anything would be considered, I would have considered to have resigned. So adding these two excused on that just gives you a little bit more flexibility with what's going on. But we also have leave of absences and stuff like that as well. But that also, I think, allows more flexibility in here for when something comes up. So this part in blue is just our standard, and we're adding this additional yellow part in for that flexibility. Does that explain it a little bit?
Thank you. Yes.
And then if anybody would like, I could also send this section to anybody, especially anybody looking to become a member or a member that isn't so clear about it. I know that we do send this out every yearly, our bylaws, but if like current members or potential members would like to just review this in general, I can always just send out the attendance portion. Just let me know, shoot me an email, and I'll send it over to everyone.
I would like to receive it.
Awesome. Can you do me a favor and just drop your email in the chat for me, and I'll make sure I can get that over to you?
Okay.
And then again, if there's any questions with it, please feel free to ask.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Jen, for breaking that down, though.
I hope it wasn't, it sounds a little confusing, but it just gives it a little bit more leeway. So I'm hoping, or flexibility. So I'm hoping everybody kind of understood.
I think that was good
Yeah.
answer. Good definition.
Okay.
So with that, I'm looking for a motion or
Make a
there's
motion.
any other questions? Okay, thanks. Anybody want to second it? Thank you, John.
I'll second.
B, thank you.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. This is also a roll call vote, and this really, there's no conflict here. So everybody can vote except for me.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. We'll start with B.
Yes.
Thank you. And Siobhan?
Yes.
Thank you. And John?
Yes.
Thank you. And Kathleen?
Yes.
Thank you. And Kelly? We will check back with Kelly at the end. Lara?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't hit the button.
Okay.
I say yes.
Thank you. And Lara?
Yes.
Thank you. And Manu, Roseanne?
Yes.
Thank you. And Vanessa?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, with all yeses, the attendance passes. And just so we understand that policy will not be in place as of yet, that has to go to our county commissioner first. And with their approval, I will let you guys know when that comes down, and I will announce it whenever the planning council, whatever planning council meeting that happens at.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you. So we took care of a lot of business with those 2 votes. And so we're gonna go into our committee reports. Executive committee was not in attendance for executive committee. Jen, are you able to help with that report? And I don't see, I don't think Tanya was there either. Yeah.
We didn't have an executive committee meeting because we didn't have quorum. So
Got it.
report.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, that's not good, but that's okay. We'll fix it by next month, including myself who missed it. So next executive committee meeting will be July 17th. Okay. So membership and bylaws, Roseanne.
Hi, well, the committee met. It was John and I. So, basically, we really spent most of the time talking about membership recruitment because we were just coming off the nice, June 5th event, long-term survivor day. So, we wanted to, ensure that we were gonna properly follow up with potential members, and we see the fruit of our labors this evening with a couple of new folks on. And then we talked about pairing potential new members with planning council members to be interviewed and taking the next steps for potential new members. Okay.
Thank you, Roseanne.
You're
The next meeting for membership and bylaws is also July 17th.
Thank you.
So, excuse me, Quality Improvement and Strategic Planning Committee, which is the QUISP committee. We met a couple of weeks ago, and it was a fairly quick meeting. We had a report from Joe on our fiscal update, and it's really just early in the year. So nothing, new to report there. And we also reviewed the universal standards, which you guys took a vote on today. One of the bigger things that happened in that meeting is we had a conversation around, do we really need to meet once a month? Because that meeting was about like 30 minutes long. So the committee made the decision to go every other month. We've been pretty efficient about how we're doing these bylaws reviews. Committee members are emailed the information prior to, so when they come, they're coming in with discussion points rather than reviewing it right then and there. And so we are going to move forward with meeting every other month. We met in May, so we will not be meeting in July. Okay, yes, sorry, it is reflected in our agenda. So our next meeting is August 27th. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, I want to make sure I point, everybody pay attention to the Roseanne's comment. So the person, Joe, who did our fiscal review, so he is the fiscal counterpart to Lucy Counts, and he reviews our expenditures to make sure that we're spending the grant money adequately. So yes, thank you, Roseanne, for that. And so yes, our next meeting is August 27th, and we'll be going to every other month. That's it for QUISP. And then last but not least, mentorship and outreach committee. So I'm going to hand it to John.
Okay. Okay, so when did we meet? We met on June 12th, and as usual, our meeting was pretty lively and with a lot of different things talked about. Let's see. We talked about some of the events that were happening around that time were going to happen. And we had a big conversation about the aging population, and that Vanessa was going to get a small presentation together with what is a doctor called that's like not actually a doctor?
ID doctor or nurse practitioner?
Nurse practitioner. Sorry. She was talking about getting that together. And then it led into a big conversation that is like, important, especially to people that are aging with, HIV and everything else. And we talked about many different, like everyone was talking, like we had so many different topics coming up that that arose from like asking, I think Vanessa asked like what the nurse practitioner like questions what should she ask, or or like have answers for during the presentation. So it was pretty a lot was going on with that. Let's see what else do we have in the notes here. Let's see. We also talked about the story slam that our members of our planning council were involved in, and about that Roseanne and I also went to the flag raising at the Crowd Center at trying to do outreach there as well, and supporting at Robert Wood Johnson. And Tanya also spoke about Story Slam and Dear Rosa. Also, we were trying to we had talked more about World AIDS Day coming up, and that it's going to be coming up quicker than we think, and that we have to really get on that. And I have an update for that. I got the confirmation today. So it is on December 6th at the Reformed Church of Highland Park, where it was last year, and we've had it there years before. And so we're going to continue getting stuff together. There was some talk that we want to try and get the jazz band that Kelly had at the Hyacinth event for at the State Theater, that band and other things like that. So we welcome anyone to come to our members mentorship and outreach committee, because that's also going to be the committee that's working on the World AIDS Day. Anyone that wants to be involved or has input or ideas. I'm not sure when our next meeting is. Do you know
Next
what date that is,
Wednesday.
Jen?
Yep, the 10th.
Next Wednesday. The 10th is our next meeting at 6 p.m. So all come, everyone come if you want to. And as time goes on, if you feel like getting involved, we're always welcome to people to help. We also talked about the live flyer program. We're trying to work that out. More places to go and things like that. And Jen gave us homework and asked everyone to find at least one event in the next 3 months that could potentially be where we could go and promote the planning council and get new members, because recruit. And we also talked about some fundraising and National Night Out on August 6th is coming up. And then again, we talked about the TGA theme, the implementation of Reach One, Teach One. And Jen is still pushing to recruit, and that we have some momentum as far as recruiting and getting applications. And Tanya mentioned to add the theme to everyday agenda. And yes, our next meeting, and we also talked about the August 6th orientation and the planning council meeting. Oh, well, we can talk about that later. I think that is all. I don't know if I missed anything, Jen.
Thank you,
I
John.
don't think so. That was it.
Okay, good. That was a lot.
That is a
We
lot.
covered a
Thank
lot.
you.
Yeah, it is a lot.
that's
Do
a
at our
lot.
meeting.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our committee reports. Thank you so much. Let's move right along to public forum. If anybody has anything to share. Go ahead.
I have a quick question. So the 10th is the follow-up committee meeting?
That is the mentorship and
Johnson?
outreach committee meeting. Is
And
July
then-
10th at 6 p.m.
But the August 6th, then the
Well-
night out, where are we doing something that day, or are we having a meeting?
Jen, you want to take that August 6th? That's our meeting, right?
Yep. Actually, I was
Yep.
going to talk about that in another moment, but I'll
Yeah,
jump in now.
I overstepped with that. I overstepped with that day. That's why I stopped
No.
myself. I read it by accident. So
You're good.
yeah.
You're good. I was just going to announce that. So on August 6th, which happens to be the National Night Out, we are actually having our in-person meeting. So we have to do orientation for those that aren't members or might be newer to this. Each year we have to do an orientation for members, potential members. It is an in-person meeting that we're doing. So that is going to coincide with our planning council meeting next month. So next month's planning council meeting, which would officially, not officially, my words are not like, I don't know, which would originally have been a Zoom meeting on August 5th, is now an in-person meeting. And what will happen is we'll have our planning council meeting first, followed by orientation. And orientation, for those that haven't been before or are thinking about joining the planning council or have already put an application, it's a great meeting to join us. We have a great presentation that we're going to have this time. And then for the planning council meeting, and then orientation, like Terry put in the comments, is a really good explanation of kind of like what we do all year. We get a lot of a good presentation about what a member's job is, what the responsibilities are as a member on a planning council, and we kind of do a fun game, things like that. And then we also have some just like tasks that we have to do every year. There's some paperwork that we have to sign as members and that type of stuff that we get done during orientation as well. And then to piggyback on that, so that's at the Office of Evolution, as Terry put in the comments in East Brunswick. It's like right off of the turnpike. It's super easy to get to. Lunch is involved also. So we'll have a planning council meeting, have a little lunch, have orientation. And then kind of the same thing goes for September. So we're going to have 2 back-to-back meetings, because at our September 12th will be a planning council meeting, but also our data day and planning and priority setting and resource allocation day, which is something that we do yearly as well. That is a much bigger explanation. That's our legislatively our most important task as a planning council is as members, for you to understand the data in our TGA, understand what our TGA needs are, and then use that information that you're presented with to make decisions on ranking of our services, and then allocating certain money to those services as well. So that's what that day is about. We do our planning council meeting during that day in the morning as well. So again, it will be a planning council meeting in the morning, lunch, and then our data day and priority setting and resource allocation day. So we'll have 2 back-to-back in-person meetings. Again, I'm going to say the dates. It's August 6th in person, same place, in Tower Evolution in East Brunswick. And then September 12th, same thing, another full day, Tower Evolution in East Brunswick. I will send out an invite, and I will give more details when probably within the next week for for August date. So any questions though, please feel free to let me know.
Thank you, Jen. That was great. Anything else for the public forum? Thank you to Terry and Roseanne for putting explanations of things in the chat. So for if you're new to our meeting, a lot of great things are explained in these little chats. All right. Nothing further with public forum. We're going to move right along to Lara for the Part B update.
Hi, everybody. It's actually going to be Lara and Mary tonight. I'm going to do the first part, and then I'm going to toss the other part to Mary. Seeing as though I'm going to be leaving, since there was so much talk around data day, that's going to be my last meeting, and the next 2 are going to be in person. So I figured I'd give Mary a little stab of reporting out in this lovely little Zoom space as we all sit here in our Brady Bunch boxes. So we just held 2 listening sessions over the past month for our FPR grants. That's our federally funded grants that are going forward. They're ending that, and again, Jen, you're not the only one with a loss for words, because my day was just jam-packed today. That RFA, request for funding, so that money, it's been a number of years, that's done. We're going to have a new one. It's not going to be competitive in the traditional sense. Those who have previously held this grant before, there's always letters and numbers tossed out that it falls under. They're going to be it's basically going to, those are the grantees that are going to be able to apply for this grant. So there were 2 listening sessions that were held at 2 different times. Chelsea went over the work plan. We haven't been awarded yet. We submitted our grant to the CDC. So that hopefully in the fall will be happening soon, because if those of you who are in agencies, you may or may not have heard how there have been extensions on top of extensions on top of extensions. I'm exhausted talking about it. I know Manu is exhausted dealing with it. Don't you have one? Yeah, okay. It's exhausting. Mary is also exhausted dealing with it as well. I can't wait until we're done with it. So that's that piece. HIV, the Elixir grant, that was just rolled over, and they were to have been submitted on the 28th. So those are up and running, and will be going through their normal approval process. So they're still, I believe everybody was flat funded, no changes there, which is a good thing. And that's kind of it in the grant spaces. Nothing new to report in the Ryan White space. I know that a new RFA on the Part B side will probably be coming. As to when, don't hold me to it. You can hold Mary to it in a few months. But right now things are pretty status quo there. So, you know, that whole grant has been up and running and moving along. So that's all I have to report on my end. Now Mary's going to follow it up with another piece of information.
Mary, I think you're still muted. I see your mouth moving, but no volume. So it's maybe not be a mute issue.
Now,
It's better, yep.
I don't know why I'm unmuting it. Sorry for that. So thank you, Lara, again for holding me accountable in a couple months for the grants coming up. So I only have really one update. There was a Dear Colleague letter that came out from HRSA in regards to being able to use the funding now under Ryan White to help clients.
Sorry, I can barely hear you. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Can you turn up your volume, please?
Yeah, I'm as loud as I can be. Is that better? Okay. So the only announcement I was saying is in regards to a Dear Colleagues letter that came about on June 26th in regards to being able to use HRSA Ryan White funds to assist clients with security deposits. So the only way to be able to assist them with security deposits is the agencies have to have policies and procedures in place. If that client moves, the client will not get that money back. That money actually goes back to the agency who supplied that. So I will put a link in the chat box for that letter. I think Lara beat me to it as well for that information if you want to read that letter. So this is exciting news because I know it's really hard with the housing portion as well to be able to use some of that money for security deposits. And that's all really the update for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Was there a question? No? Anybody have a question?
No, just
Does HRSA have any guidelines as far as, are they putting anything in place of how we can use it, what the restrictions are? Or is that up? I heard you say something about the agencies need to have policies in place, but is anything coming down from the federal level?
Right
That
now,
is from the federal level.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just had one quick question for Lara. Lara, you said that there is an RFA going out, but not amongst the organizations that are already funded for the counseling and testing grant. But did you tell us when it's going out?
Chelsea didn't even say. That was the one question she couldn't answer. So if you currently possess an 1802 FPR grant, then you are eligible to apply for the next round of funding. As to when, we haven't even been awarded our grant yet. So once all of that falls into place, and then the timeline will eventually reveal itself. So we don't have a timeline as of yet, but I think she's just kind of like greasing up the wheels to get everybody prepared.
Sure. It's just that, but the funding ends July 31st, but
there's an extension coming.
Oh, okay. That was my next part.
Okay. I thought you meant for the new, no. You're getting an extension on top of your current extension. And then we're hoping after this extension, you're gonna, and Mary, correct me if I'm wrong, because there's just been so many extensions.
This will be the third.
This will be the third. There might be another extension after that, because there's no sense in having to roll over a grant, to create a new grant to then to have to, for 2 months when we're just going to have you apply and create a new grant. So it's basically to eliminate the approval process, having to go through all of the things when the grant already exists. So it's,
yes, I'm sorry. I just was thinking that it's happening all this month and it's already July 3rd.
No.
And
I mean, never say never. Like, we could do that to you, but no, that's not happening. And when I say we, I'm not a part of that we. There's
I understand.
We.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much for Part B update. Were there any other questions? I don't see anything. Okay, so agency and community announcements. Terry? No, you are muted.
Yeah, that's fine. I did. Wait, can you hear me? Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Jen and I actually told her I wasn't going to tell you guys this yet, but I'm kind of excited about it, so I want to tell you about it. We are in the process of creating Facebook and Instagram pages for Planning Council, and we have hired a young fella who does this for a couple companies who does really excellent work, and I'm very excited about it. And so we will keep you all posted. We're going to be working with the mentorship and outreach committee, and once we sort of establish it, we're going to ask everyone to like and share it as well. What we really want to do, what's really important for us, is to make sure, like, I don't want to create up my own page and share it with my friends, because there's not, there are some people I work with on there, but not many. We really want to push it and promote it in Middlesex, Somerset, and Hunterdon counties once it's established. And we're going to play off of the webpage, kind of to go back and forth between the webpage and social media, so we can get some activity that way. We did some basic website analytics, and we found that not too many people are going to the website. I think, I'm not sure where it is at now, but the first time I looked at it was only like 58 times, with the biggest spike being after January, when we kind of introduced it to all of you. So we just wanted to kind of let you know that, and stay tuned. It's going to be a process. It'll definitely be up and running before World AIDS Day, that I can tell you. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? No. Okay. Excited to be able to be in person next month with you all. It'll be right before the Ryan White conference. I'm not sure if any of you guys are attending, which will be later in the month in August. If there's nothing else to be discussed, you get an hour back of your life to enjoy the weather in summer. Yay! Terry's excited. Okay, I'm glad somebody's excited.
Clap too.
Okay, Vanessa has a thumbs up. Thanks. Okay. I need like positive feedback, because I can barely read you guys. Okay, thank you, Steve. All right. I like energies and being in the space with people. Okay, great. So if there's nothing else, we're gonna go ahead. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, John.
I'll second.
Thank you, B. Everybody have a good
Hey.
night.
Thank you all. Have
Thank
a
you,
great one.
everybody.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
joining us.
coming.
Email with
Thanks.
any
Good night.
questions.
Good night.
Have a great fourth.
Bye.
Yep. Enjoy your
Yep.
fourth. Enjoy vacations. Be safe.
Yep, be safe,
Good.
everybody.
You too.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Oh, official end time for
I
Sabrina is
actually,
7:02.
I have a quick question. I'm so sorry. That thing in December 6th, that's gonna be in Holland Park.
Yes.
How do I know it's some time away, but how do I sign up to volunteer, like to be at the event?
Come to our mentorship and outreach meeting next Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Zoom, and if you can make that, we do that once a month, and sometimes toward the end of the time and around December time before that, like November especially, we'll be having probably more than one meeting, getting everything together. So, but that's going to be our big topic, continuing. So come next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Jen, could you give her an email about that?
Absolutely. Yep. And then for the World's
and
AIDS
it'll
Day
have a link to
meeting,
everything.
everyone is also welcome. So anybody that can
Okay.
come,
Yeah.
would like to
everybody.
come,
Everybody,
family,
anybody.
friends, bring your family, bring your friends, bring anybody you know
Yeah.
that'd be interested in joining us as well.
Okay. It's really important to me, like I said in a previous meeting, so I would like to like kind of, I guess, teach my kids too a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
bring them. That'd be great.
All
And
right.
I'll make sure that I send you the mentorship and outreach meeting information going out for our next meeting next week.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you, John. You too.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, good night.
Bye. Have a good night. Thank you all.
Jen, I just want to keep you for 1 minute.
Okay. Hello. Hey, Tanya,
Our
we just
meeting's over,
finished.
Tanya.
I know, it's